Okay, so I wanted to do a reading on Pluto Retrograde and why Pluto Retrograde is affecting us so much and what exactly it's affecting. Currently, to me, it feels like a looming feeling. Like it feels like there's maybe some things that have been waiting in the wings to finish or finalize or be done with are finally going to be done. And then we're going to be understanding why we're done with them. Pluto is a planet where when it's in retrograde, it's like we go inward first and then we go outward. So what do I mean when I say that? Okay, so let's say in this Pluto retrograde or in the last year, you've had to recently separate from a family member, right? And maybe before 2020, this family member was, you guys aligned, you clicked, everything was good. And then 2020 happened and a lot of things were stripped from people. A lot of secrets were revealed from people that you never thought. Hidden enemies came out that you just never were waiting on the wing for, or there were just certain circumstances that made you have to let that person go or made you feel like you weren't resonating with them on the same level that you were before, okay? So this Pluto retrograde, any relationships that have happened like that to you, even if it's not recent, even if it's something in the past, it's still going to be something that affects you, and there needs to be an understanding of why you clung on to that person, situation, scenario, place, thing, whatever it is. For some of us, it could be, I'm getting material goods. For some of us, it could be like getting our house taken away from us when really it was out of our price bracket when we bought it anyways, or getting certain things forced away from us in very different and weird ways, just because Uranus is also being activated as well during this Pluto retrograde. But basically, we're meant to go over what happened in the past. Why did we cling to those things? Why did we accept those things? Why did we accept that behavior from that person? What fundamentally inside of us was making us realize that we weren't good enough to have what we actually wanted, or what was going to help us grow, or it's all questions about that. And it really, with Pluto retrograde, the best way that you can take advantage of this energy is not to focus on anybody else's evolution, anybody else's growth. That's the last thing you want to do in a Pluto retrograde. It's like you really want to find your own power and empower yourself, and understand that the people that are around you that may not understand that concept or understand why you're trying to find your own power and you're trying to find your own truth, or why your behaviors have changed so much in the last year and a half, somewhere around there. It's like that, don't worry about them. It's none of their business right now. You know, right now it's like we are catalysts on a incredible growth journey that has expanded beyond our wildest dreams in the last year of 2020, right? I mean, if we really look at it, people start to think about going back to normal, you know, but in reality, people, the majority of people felt like their souls were being crushed. And if you look back to that ever small voice, I think a lot of us had to retrace the decisions that we made because of other people. Ooh, hang on. That happened at 3:33, by the way, guys. Ugh. Gotta love technology. I don't know. I'm gonna keep that on. I don't know why I feel the need to keep that on, but I'm gonna keep it on. Anyways, so with these issues, it's like we're basically getting the lights taken away from us. We're getting all of the illusions taken away from us. All right. So it's it's very fundamental that you worry about your process and what your progress is going to look like, not anybody else's. And I hate to say this for all the people that have been married for many, many years and recently separated from their partner, or that's not to say that it couldn't work out. I'm just saying that this is a time to think about your growth and your evolution and your journey. And the reason why everything feels so up in the air is because we don't really know what we're doing. We've never navigated this type of energy before. We've never had political, social, geographical events have our lives affect us this vastly in any generation that we've known, at least, or anybody that's been alive. you know? So it's like we're having to break ourselves out of the 9 to 5, out of the conventional decisions that make everybody else happy. So it's important for you to recognize that, and it's important for you to give that a voice, give that power within yourself a voice. And I'm talking to all my people pleasers. I'm talking to the people that have gotten the rug ripped out from under them because they were in such an entangled web of codependence and people pleasing and wanting to make sure that there was the best for everybody. It's like you're being forced into situations where you literally have to go away. You have to pull away. And it's not because God is mean, or, you know, it's not because it's all for a greater purpose. It's all for a greater meaning. Yes, we are creatures of comfort, but we're not meant to stay there. And I'm talking about the kind of comfort emotionally that we've been suppressing for a very long time, generation after generation. And it's like eventually that trauma was going to come out. Eventually someone had to change the layout of the family. And no, they're not going to understand it right now, but I tell you who will understand it: us and our children, when they see our history, when they know our past, when they're old enough to understand what we've been through. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like just don't go into expectations that they're going to completely understand it. But at the same time, like, we have to recognize our role as the movers and the shakers of the world. We have to recognize our role in trying to break these family generational bonds. And that doesn't mean break up your families. That means nothing about that. It just means that anybody that gets in your way and doesn't want to help you grow, and you don't want to help them grow, is not aligned with you, period, point blank, end of story. And if there's even a try of a relationship like that, it will fall flat on your face. So that's like what Pluto retrograde is all about. Is say you are in a relationship and you haven't been single in a long time, and you're trying to just get back out there, and you're feeling really nervous and anxious. It's like Pluto retrograde is going to make you go back into all the decisions that you've made in that relationship or in previous relationships, going back into the past. And it's like, why did I allow this? Why was this okay to me? What was I trying to prove? Who was I trying to be when I let that be okay? You know, it's things like that. And this is not a time to point the fingers. That's why I'm so adamant on talking about personal power with Pluto, because this is not a time to point fingers. This is not a time to look at somebody and say, this is all you've done. This is a time to say, okay, I see we can't change the past here, you know? So we have a choice. Do you want to grow with me or do you not? And it's okay if you don't, you know? We have to be okay with people saying no. Not everybody has a mission. Not everyone is called to do something higher with their life. And that's okay. It's not meant for us, you know? But I know that that's a really, really hard concept to come into. So for all my people who have been in a past relationship, right, and you've tried to mend it, or you it's just not possible, or you two are on two completely different timelines and it just kind of got ripped out from under you, you're not alone. I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that if you watch the evolution of the relationship grow and you try to remain patient, I promise you it's going to be a lot better of an outcome than if you hold on for dear life and not know what to do next, you know, because you're always divinely led. And if you're watching my video and you're at least 8 minutes in, you're divinely led, man. So yeah, Pluto retrograde is going to be talking about why did we cling to those things? Why did we cling to those things that either left us or we left them behind? After the full moon in Scorpio, which happened last week, I believe, Chiron was activated to help integrate what happened with us when Uranus was transiting from 2012 to 2018. Okay, so during that Uranus transit, it was a spark, okay? And there's not really anybody I don't know that says 2012 wasn't a weird year for them, right? So with that, it was meant to spark us and catalyze us into what we are now. Because, I mean, think about it. This is going to keep happening, isn't it? I mean, if we think about it, I don't know why I feel the need to keep this up, but I'm just going to keep going. If we think about it, what were we starting to do then? What did we need to release? I know that in 2012 for me, I needed to release I needed to release a lot of the baggage. I needed to get sober. There was a lot of shit I needed to do. And there was a lot of shit that I did in between 2012 and 2018. 2018 being the year before I started doing this, you know? And if you would have told me 10 years ago, oh, this is what you're going to be doing, I would have said hell to the no. I would have told you I would have been in fast food or something because of the way that my life was going, you know? So my point is that we never really know what's going to change our life or what's going to hit that spark or what's going to start a really brand new spanking amazing adventure. All right. So with the Chiron being activated, it's really going to be feelings of liberation or structure. All right, liberation or structure. And what do I mean when I say that? Like liberation from constriction, liberation from the boundaries that you've normally set for yourself because of a need for other people's approval or a need for those around you. And I'm not just talking about my people pleasers here, okay? I'm talking about we are getting to the nitty gritty. We are getting to the social core of things. Like little things like why do we use plastic instead of paper? Why are there people checking our receipts? Why do we say bless you after someone sneezes? And that's not to say that the rules will change or dynamics will change. It's just that they're being questioned right now. Okay, it's very much like, why are we doing this? And is this something I want to do? And sometimes it takes a while, especially for those of you who have been in the rooms. You freaking know it takes a while to get used to the rooms, to know what meetings you like, to know who you like, who to talk to, who to not talk to, who overshares, who's always walking in late to the meetings. It takes a while to know those different things, even though you can feel comfortable in time. It's like there's that social restriction that you have to figure out and conquer first. And so right now it's asking like, what if there was no base social structure? What if you chose your social structure? And that's not to say like let chaos and anarchy reign. Don't be an asshole. But what does your structure look like? Do you say bless you after someone sneezes? Do you like it when someone checks your receipts outside of Walmart? Do you like having small conversation or people asking you how you are? Do you like to talk on the phone every day to people? Do you like to talk only once a week with people on the phone? You know, have you figured out your different isms, you know, like what's going on with that? What is your core social structure? And so during this Pluto retrograde, we're going to have issues of what's good and what's not good, or what's and we're really going to have to question that. We're going to sit back and observe that. So when that happens, don't let yourself get into this deep dark spiral of, oh my God, I'm never going to be socially adequate and no one's gonna like me anymore because I'm changing things so much. No, my dear, no, my dear. You are exactly where you're meant to be. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And within finding your power, you will be surprised at the people around you that are like, wow, I really like the way that power looks on them. I might have to give that power a try myself, you know? So don't get trapped in the emotional paradox that is Pluto retrograde. All it's really meant to do is make you silence out the noise of the people around you and listen to what you want to do. What's your social structure? Is it traditional? Is it not traditional? Do you want to rebel? Do you want to stay with the concepts? What is that, you know? So don't try really hard not to look at it as bad or good in this instance. Look at it as a new adventure and something that you ought to try. And especially for those of you who have gotten sober and walked into the rooms and have gone to meetings regularly, you get what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. You know what it's like to be desperate, surrendering, hopeless to this thing, this entity that has control over you, okay? So you get it. You're already a step ahead of the game if you've been there, because you know that all you have to, oh, I've done this. I just need to get back aligned. I just need to give this time so that I can get comfortable and figure out what I want. That's the way we need to be thinking about this Pluto retrograde, okay? Not about why am I the only one that heals and nobody else around me does? That's going to be a common theme too, okay? It's going to be really hard for you to understand why the people are working the way they're working, or Some people will have a solution and choose not to go into that solution. They will just choose to stay the same old, and their life will come to a halt, or it will be stopped in some way, shape, or form. And when I say it'll come to a halt or it'll be stopped, I mean like they won't prosper. They won't get to their biggest goals, hopes, and dreams. Damn it, I knew it was going to do that. So, anyways, any hoodles. Basically, Pluto retrograde is going to be the don't trip yourself out. Don't trip yourself out, because sometimes we need to figure out how we're grounding ourselves also, okay, in this time, because you're going to deal with a lot of people who are going through dark nights of the soul. And if you've been through dark night of the soul, you know that it's not fun. It's not something we all want to do, you know? So just make sure that you're, for the next 6 months, just make sure that you're figuring out how to ground yourself, how to emotionally dump all the negative energy that's going on around you, and know what's yours and know what's not, and know what you can control and know what you can't. And that's why I'm saying focus on your personal power, because those are all the themes of what you're focusing on when you're honing in on that trait for yourself. It's important, it's pivotal for the next 6 months. Take your time, okay? Know that these situations, whatever was left behind you, they will come to a close. They will reach finality, or they will reach evolution. And when I say evolution, I mean maybe the time apart will help the other person to grow, or maybe you two can become really, really great friends in the future if you share children, whatever it may be, you know. But when you focus on your own power, you're not so worried about the people around you that are concerned with things that are none of your business, or you shouldn't be concerned about. So that's really important. I feel like this is going to be a very pivotal time for a lot of my empaths and my light workers, because I know that we struggle not helping people, and it's kind of like a knee-jerk reaction for us. And this is not a time, okay? This is not the time to do that, especially if someone's really close with you. Like if it's a really close family member going through a dark night of the soul, please don't put all the weight of that on your shoulders. Please don't do that. Don't do that, because you deserve to shine too. And this is a primal opportunity for you to get down to the nitty-gritty of why you do that, why you overhelp, why you go there, you know? And it's okay if you feel like an asshole. I feel like an asshole too on a daily basis. It's really hard. But at the same time, I know that this opportunity is going to help me to grow and expand and balance out the way that I help people, so that I'm not doing it until I can't breathe anymore, you know? So that I'm doing it in a way that's healthy for me and for them. So just take this Pluto retrograde as a way to hone in on your personal power, a hero's journey for you to hone in on who you are and what you want to be in this world, and being fearless in those experiences, and finding your own truth and your own light, and being able to share your gift with the world, because that's really what we all want at the end of the day, is just a little bit of comfort and to be able to help others. So anyways, I hope that this video helped. I love all of you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.